Hey folks, it's Saturday and that means it's What the Spec time. Let's roll that intro. Thanks once again for joining us. If you're looking for a brand new gaming PC specifically to run Valorant, then you have come to the right place. In this week's What the Spec video, I'm going to be going over all the components you need to be able to build a PC to play Valorant at pro level, which is kind of universally agreed to be 144Hz at 1080p. So right, you're here. You've probably already played or watched a few videos of Valorant. You know what Valorant is, but for those of you who don't, hold with me. I'm going to give you a quick lowdown for everyone that's new to Valorant. So Valorant is a brand new tactical 5v5 first-person shooter game from the legendary creators of League of Legends, Riot Games. Currently the only game mode that I know of appears to be modelled from CSGO, the first-person shooter, in which teams of terrorists battle to perpetrate an act of terror while counter-terrorists try to prevent it. The first team to either defeat all their opponents, destroy the bomb site, or defuse the bomb wins the round for up to 24 rounds, so first to 13 wins the match. Valorant appears to be very much like CSGO. It not only has a similar game mode, but there are also trading aspects in which you have to purchase your guns and your armor with the in-game currency at the start of each round. You gain more or less currency depending on your performance from the previous round, which if you're me means not very much currency. This proven formula has added inclusion of character abilities. That's right, character you choose in Valorant makes a big difference to how you're going to play. This makes Valorant one of the most exciting competitive games this year, and may well challenge CSGO as the go-to competitive first-person shooter title. On did also mention it's completely free to play. Right, now on to the specs. Thankfully, Valorant is super optimised and doesn't need a supercomputer to run at that sweet 144 frames per second. In fact, it doesn't need anything like a supercomputer. Riot have made this game run on almost any modern PC or laptop. If you already have a PC and you're looking to get some extra frames from it, then be sure to check out last week's What the Spec video, 6 ways to make your PC games run faster for free. I'll link it in the comment bits below and I'll also link it in a little annotation above. Going by Valorant's official recommended PC specs, an aging 4th generation Intel Core i5, Nvidia's GTX 1050 Ti and only 4GB of memory is all you need to run this game at 144Hz at 1080p. However, you're going to struggle to get a PC with any of those components outside of eBay, as they're all much older than those that are readily available today. With that in mind, this video was born, and I'm going to help you configure a PC that you can get off the shelf from most system builders. And these components are also tried and tested, which I will personally guarantee are going to give you a solid 144 frames per second with zero dips. So no excuses for losing. So let's kick off with the CPU. A Core i5 CPU was recommended and it's okay, but they've used a much older 4th generation chip, which is totally out of date and really hard to find. Therefore, my recommendation is to go with the newer 9th generation 6-core Core i5 9400F. It's going to deliver amazing performance, especially in Valorant due to the 2 extra cores and a faster boost clock of 4.1 GHz, never mind the newer and improved architecture. To house this processor, you're going to be wanting a solid performing motherboard to support the rest of your components as well, but nothing special. Any motherboard with an H310 chipset or Z390 chipset is going to do. A couple of memory slots, a few SATA slots, or maybe even a couple of M.2 slots will suffice. Memory's next, and Riot does only recommend 4GB, which is kind of okay, but let's go with 8GB. Memory really isn't expensive these days, and that's going to give you some headroom to be able to stream your games or run other applications in the background without causing any issues. DDR4 memory, 3000 MHz or higher is what you want to choose here. Your operating system drive is next, and solid state drives these days are so cheap. Go with a 480GB storage space or higher, and that's going to give you super sweet boot times into Windows. Your games are going to open up quickly and you're going to get a much smoother experience in general when using your PC. To power it all, I would recommend a 450 watt power supply from the likes of CoolerMaster, Corsair or EVGA. That's going to be enough. Make sure it's got 80+ certification, as this promotes good energy efficiency in the unit. It also means that all the components inside are of high quality and it's going to give you an easy upgrade path in the future. Now lastly, your graphics card. This is the most important component of any gaming PC. The recommended card for use at 1080p, 144Hz for Valorant is NVIDIA's GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. And although technically this card is still available, prices are very similar to the more powerful NVIDIA GeForce 1650, which I would suggest going with. If you are planning on streaming Valorant over the likes of Twitch or Mixer, then I'd opt with the 1660 Ti or higher, as streaming will affect the performance of the 1650 and might struggle to hit 144 frames a second while streaming. That's pretty much it. The last thing you're going to need is a case. However, this is completely self-preference. If you want my personal opinion, then the case that we use in our Utopia Helix gaming PC, which is the CoolerMaster MB520, is a solid choice. If you're interested in buying a Valorant PC from ourselves, then check out the high range of performance computers in the link below. If you've got any questions about Valorant or anything else tech related, then drop me a comment. If you haven't already hit subscribe, then please do. We would love to see you on the next video. Thanks very much. Happy gaming. Cheers.